Hello everyone. Since beginning of March, Malaysia due to COVID-19 have been in a lockdown. It's called an MCO here. First it was a movement control order, and afterwards it was followed by RMCO, restriction movement control, and then there was a conditional movement control. So basically during all those phases, traveling inside the states or basically going out of your house very far for taking groceries was strictly prohibited, and that wasn't only in Malaysia. So me as a foreigner, I was here. I experienced here the life of being in lockdown, and talk less of traveling. There was also a lot of lockdowns in terms of getting your groceries or eating outside. So I'm not the one of those foreigners actually who was locked down here and didn't want to travel back to their country, or those illegal foreigners whom Al Jazeera is trying to portray about.
When you look at these raids, you can't help but think, is this the practical reality of dealing with a pandemic, or is it racism?
If you're new here, I'm Amal. I'm a full-time supply manager at Intel. I'm doing part-time videos on YouTube, as well as I'm a part-time student for MBA. With the first cases in Malaysia starting on March, our department asked us to fully work from home. And I have learned a lot during this lockdown, as well as on the separate videos I actually will make about how to make the key productivity tips about working from home and whether or not it's practical for you. But with that said, that's my first travel I've made throughout MCO, and after MCO, me and my wife decided to take a time off and fly to Langkawi for just like a 3 days off. The prices were cheap for resorts, although pandemic have actually affected a lot of businesses around Malaysia in terms of airlines, hotels and restaurants were a major hit and for the pandemic, but the prices were cheap, and because of our previous ticket which got burned, so AirAsia gave a credit back to our account, so we decided to travel to Langkawi, a beautiful island located in the north side of Malaysia. So our hotel used to provide us with this sort of like tags whereby we enter to any premises. For example, we enter to cafe shops or we enter to check in. They always provide us with those tags. So at first I was wearing them, and when we went out, people were giving us like a strange look. So I was wondering why is that? It's because actually now it's like any Malaysian who's coming back to the country, they're actually supposed to have a self-quarantine, and they have those tags, which is similar to us what we had. But our hotel decided every premise we enter, they'll put tags on you. So if you forget to go out and you go out of the resort, you will be basically having that tag with you. It's just written your temperature and everything. You can just take it out. So I guarantee you, we weren't actually quarantined, but still people are giving less strange looks, you know.
So there are two apps that was created by Ministry of Health of Malaysia. Depending on which state you are, you record your data by scanning the QR codes at every entry and even in airport. So basically what it have been done is because if there are any outbreaks in that area, they're able to gather the data and contact you if necessary. Since August 1st, 2020, there is a law where it doesn't allow anyone entering any premises without a mask. So upon check-in, they won't let you board in the plane without a mask. So probably that's the reason they should add in the manuals of your safety. As airports were empty, there were no queues literally, so it decreased the danger of having us in being in crowds. So the main question of the safe travel around Malaysia during pandemic, if you follow the SOPs that are provided by the government of Malaysia, as they have one of the most iconic, Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah. He is a Malaysian that led a battle against the COVID, which has a pretty interesting, even animes based cartoons that were drawn for him, and that describes his effort to battle COVID-19 in Malaysia. I did meet some foreigners from same region and countries where I am from, and also other European travelers that were there. So they all had a common reason in staying in Malaysia, and that they didn't want to travel back as their country had worsened cases compared to Malaysia. And another thing that Al Jazeera will never show about Malaysia, that what Malaysian immigration have done is they knowingly know that the tourist visas that are expiring, they made a law where you can extend the visas while you are in Malaysia, even it expires for another 3 months.
So check out my videos about the trip and enjoy. And of course, keep safe, keep the social distancing, and see you guys at next.